When you're attractive, you tend to be very intimidating to the point where people can't make eye contact with you. And if you're not leveled up, if you don't know who you are as a woman and your beauty yet, you can easily misinterpret that as disrespect. I know there was a version of myself when I was younger that a lot of the times I would take, the no eye contact as disrespectful. Like people don't fuck with me. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why don't people want to look at me and stuff? But it wasn't until one day, and I know this might sound a little bit conceited to some people, but in the Pretty Girl Club, in this space, we have a lot of nuance, and we give a safe space to be able to talk about our pretty privilege and the things that we go through. That's what the point of my channel is anyway. My focus, my niche is pretty privilege. So this is a safe space for us to be able to talk about the things that we go through and deal with without backlash, without feeling like we're conceited, right? But there's a lot of people who aren't part of the Pretty Girl Club who still watch this video, or who are still going to watch this video, and just for lurking reasons, whatever their reason is, right? And so, anyways, I remember one day when I was like 15, looking in the mirror for the first time, realizing how attractive I actually really was. And y'all ever looked in a really good mirror? Like, all mirrors don't do you justice. But I remember this one day, there was this mirror I looked in. I was like, is that how I really look to people? Because I'm like, damn, even the camera phone don't do me justice. What y'all see online in pictures is a 2D version of myself. It's not even the 3D version. So, and any pretty girl can attest to this. When you take a picture, it doesn't do you justice how you look in real life. So, I'm very attractive and I'm confident enough to say that. And with that being said, I noticed attractive people in general are intimidating. And I know when I look at another attractive person, I sense that feeling that people may get when they look at us. You know what I mean? It's a very, I guess the word intimidating, yeah, it's intimidating, but what I've learned to do is to look at people like they're humans. Look at attractive people like they're humans. And because I can empathize with being attractive and understanding what it feels like. A lot of people understand who are attractive, what it is, and why people know they're intimidated by them. But there's a lot of people who don't even know themselves yet. A lot of pretty women don't know they're pretty. Those are the type of women I'm talking about. There's a lot of women on this channel who have told me, this channel is actually helping them become more confident. This entire space is. Like, all the pretty privileged content creators, like, this used to be a very taboo thing for us to talk about. Like how dare you talk about being attractive when you actually are? Because you notice that if you actually are attractive, you can't talk about it. But if you're like medium ugly, that's the new term we got. But if you're medium ugly, it's like those are the only people that can like brag about their looks. But that's why I'm so glad we have a community of pretty privileged women. We can just talk about these things and not feel bad about it. Like, it's so cool. But yeah, and I'm only making this video because the other day it happened to me like a lot. It was from managers at my job. Like, I was at an assignment where I had to work on a team, right? And there was three of us. And I remember the manager, mind you, this is the same manager I told you guys about in my one of my videos where I was saying how managers will abuse their power to gain access to a pretty girl. And he's the one, this manager I'm talking about, white boy, is the manager I'm talking about. And we were on this assignment. I was on assignment with two other girls. And whenever he would give us instruction on what to do, he wouldn't make eye contact with me, but he would make eye contact with them too. And but I always catch him looking at me when, like, I happened to look his direction, and like I know he always looks, so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you ever had a crush on somebody and you know that feeling you get when you're around them, like you get nervous and it's almost like you want to talk to them, but you can't, you get stuck almost. It gave those vibes. So don't look at it like people are being rude to you, because I almost took it there, but I had to realize like, oh, this is the same guy that he's always up on me in other situations, but this situation, he couldn't even look at me. But this happens a lot, even with other people. Like, for example, if I know a couple, I notice the guy won't give me eye contact, and that's respect, because he respects his girlfriend. But this is some of the things that we deal with as pretty girls. People are intimidated to make eye contact. Even the girlies that don't like you, like, they will go out of their way to avoid making eye contact with you, almost to make you feel bad. I have an enemy doing that all the time to me. She will go out of her way to not only not look at me, not talk to me, talk to everybody else but me. Sometimes it can be a humbling tactic, and other times it's just people, being anxious and nervous when they're around you. Because you have to remember, as attractive women, people tend to fall in love with us very easily, or catch feelings for us very easily. Exotical United just made a video, and she made a really good point, and I didn't even think about it that way until she mentioned it. And I have several situations that prove that this is real. When there's one woman with pretty privilege, but then there's another woman who just has like sex privilege or sex appeal privilege, she will often emphasize on her body to get attention, and it's obviously usually for the male gaze. But when you have actual pretty privilege, you don't have to do a whole lot, and men will still approach you, want to talk to you, ask you out, catch feelings, all of these things. There's this new girl. She got like a real big ass, and she just got hired, right? And she's not the most attractive in the face. I'm trying to think of somebody she might look like. A lot of people, she kind of favors Hazel E, maybe a little bit. I'm not trying to call Hazel E unattractive, but a lot of people don't believe that she's attractive. I don't like to call people ugly, but some people are more proportionate than others in the face and all that. So I know that plays a factor, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But she looks kind of like her, right? Hazel E. And I noticed she emphasizes on her ass a lot to get these guys' attention. But what I did notice, those guys, they just keep looking at me. And I noticed she noticed that they keep looking at me, so she just keeps trying to just do the most obnoxious things. Like being overly exaggerative with her expressions, the things that she's saying to them. Like, it could be anything, like, time to get back on the clock, y'all. Like, she'll just be doing the most outgoingest things. And there's nothing wrong with being outgoing, but you can tell when somebody's doing it for attention, like, because a lot of the times I notice with insecure women, when they do that, it'll most likely be the most when you're around. Like, in other situations, I'll see the person from far away and they'll be fine, they'll be normal, not doing a lot. But when I come around, because I know somebody in the circle, or I'm walking past them, simply just getting closer, I notice the energy shift and they get more loud when you come around. And we do trigger people's insecurities. We have to just understand that. And when you trigger people's emotions, it makes them react in certain ways, Like, if they really, really like you, they'll become damn near, not possessive, but like stalkerish. Like, they will not leave you alone. You literally have to tell them to chill, leave you alone, for them to leave you alone. Or you'll get the people who will do the avoidant type of thing, the avoidant humbling tactic, where they'll act like you don't exist, even though they clearly see that you exist. Everybody else around sees that you exist except them. they're so oblivious to the fact that you exist, but it's just the way to try to get them to humble you because they feel like you need to be humbled. For some reason, attractive women have to be humbled. Perfect strangers will feel the need to want to humble a pretty woman at the grocery store because maybe her man is near her. Like, it's just the things that we have to deal with. But like on the opposite end of like triggering people's emotions, like on a negative side, like that can be dangerous for beautiful women. It can be very dangerous. People could want to harm you in ways just because you triggered them, that you triggered one of their insecurities. A lot of the times they'll be trying to plot like humiliation rituals against you. The saddest part about it is a lot of the times it has to do with the man. Y'all know my guilty pleasure, and do not judge me, but it's Love and Hip Hop, and I've been binge watching. And y'all remember the season where Tommy was on, the one that dated Scrap, and you remember how she was trying to plot with Carly Red and I think it was Jessica Dime to lure the baby mother of Scrap to like the party just so they can, plot, because apparently she was sleeping with her, like, okay, so for those who don't know what happened, basically Tommy was dating this guy named Scrap, and then Scrap had a baby mama that apparently he was still messing around with, but Tommy wanted to get the tea on that, so she went to the baby mama's job with her friends to try to pretend like they're customers. And once they had her as their waitress, they invited her out to a dinner party, or they invited her out to a party with them. But it wasn't because they were trying to be friends. It was because they were trying to basically sabotage her by confronting her about sleeping with her baby father, because that's her man now. So women will do stuff like this. You have to be very cautious as women, It's not all women, but a lot of women, if they're insecure, or if it especially has to do with another man, if a man is involved, you really have to be careful. Because pygmies will go in on a woman over a guy. But yeah, do not feel, I know it can feel disrespectful when people don't make eye contact with you, but it's not on purpose. It's just, it could be a fear thing. It could be like you trigger them somehow, some way. Just know you're triggering them. Pretty privilege. It can either be all good or all bad, There really is no in between. But let me know what y'all think, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Thank you for listening.